We've come to a construction site to put two ultra-tough phones through a set of gruelling and very messy tasks to see which is made of the sterner stuff. Time for that all-important spec-off.
Bring it on. You're not from round here, stranger.
Who are you?
So what you packing, Georgie?
I'm packing the Cat S62 Pro.
My smartphone may be more expensive than Craig's, but it boasts military-spec toughness, and it's powered by a Snapdragon octa-core processor.
That's nothing. I've got the Doogee S62 Pro.
You may not have heard of Chinese brand Doogee, but this rugged smartphone is almost half the price of the Cat. But it's weather-sealed and has a toughened sapphire glass touchscreen display.
This has got 128 gigs of storage.
So is this. Let's talk RAM. I've got 8 gig.
Ooh, I've only got 6 gig, but I do have a 4,000 milliamp hour battery.
I can more than double that. I've got an 8,500 milliamp battery. And I've got this. I've got a 40-meter laser rangefinder with 8 measuring modes.
Ooh, fancy, but mine has a professional-grade thermal imaging camera, and I can say that you are looking hot.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am.
No, just like in terms of thermal imaging.
Oh, whatever. Let's get on with some challenges, shall we?
Come on, then.
Our first challenge is water and debris resistance.
Our rugged phones are designed to handle being dropped in liquid or caked in crud. So we borrowed a cement mixer to see how our phones stand up to some sand and water.
Let's chuck them in.
Let's put them to the test.
OK, I'll fire it up then, yeah?
If we can get the mixer started, that is.
It's not starting.
You almost convinced me then you knew what you were doing. Well done, Craig. You finally got it going.
My Cat phone claims to be water resistant up to 1.5 metres for 35 minutes.
I can hear a crunch at the same time.
And my Doogee claims to match Georgie's 1.5 metres underwater for a mere 5 minutes less submersion time of 30 minutes.
I really do hope they're rugged.
Should we turn it off?
Turn it off.
Release the phones.
Let's wash these off.
But will our phone still work after that battering?
Straight away, mine's alive and kicking.
So is mine, look.
My Cat's showing signs of life, but there's a problem.
So mine's doing a thing where it keeps resetting itself. It's almost like the actual power button's a little bit jammed and it's forcing it to restart all the time.
Mine's working. It seems quite hardy, to be fair.
Another rinse and water and a bit of picking at my Cat's on and off button, and I fixed the issue.
Well, I was nervous for both of them.
It was a cement mixer.
It was a cement mixer. I don't advise people putting their phones in the cement mixer.
With my Cat's button getting clogged up with gunk, it's a win for Craig's Doogee, which came out unscathed in round 1, taking his cheaper phone into the lead. And having established they're both in perfect working order, it's time for the next challenge.
Craig and Georgie, it's Roger.
Roger, Roger.
It's time for your next challenge. Camera and display quality.
Roger over and out.
While a rugged phone needs to be tough, a quality camera and detailed display is equally as important day to day. So we're going to film a time-lapse of the busy builders and watch it back at each of our displays to see which is best.
So my Cat films in 4K at 30 frames per second, and I'll be able to watch it back on this lovely 5.7-inch screen.
Well, my Doogee shoots in 4K, but it's got a 6.39-inch screen, which must lead to a better viewing experience. And it's also got a time-lapse mode as yours.
No.
Well, mine has.
Well done. I'm just going to speed up afterwards. Don't think that's the end of the world. Shall we begin?
Well, go on. OK.
Builders brew?
Builders.
Yes.
Time for a well-earned break while our phones continue to capture all the action. But even though my Cat phone can record up to 4K, its display resolution is only full HD with a pixel density of 424 pixels per inch.
My Doogee's display has a lower resolution than the Cat, but it's made of the same screen tech, giving it similarly wide viewing angles. Talking of which, it's time to take a look and compare our videos.
So straight away I can tell there's not that much details on the black, so the sort of shadow of the building, it goes just quite dark. So maybe it's lacking in that area a little bit. How about you?
I'd say that mine's maybe slightly more washed out than yours.
While the Doogees managed to capture a punchy blue sky, when put next to Georgie's cat, the overall picture is lacking warmth and contrast. But can it redeem itself with some stills photography?
To find out, we're going to take 3 snaps to see how our phones perform with different subjects.
Wallowing in the cement.
And first up, we've stumbled upon a scaffolder with a big old pole.
Are we getting arty there, Craig?
I'm getting a bit arty.
Loving the pole action. So, Craig, mine's got 2 rear cameras, one 48 megapixel, the other 2 megapixel. I've got an 8 megapixel camera on the front and 4x zoom.
Hey, look, I've got 48 megapixel quad camera. I've got 3D HDR, and you know what? It's got a wide-angle lens.
Ooh.
Wait to tell you.
And for our last pick, a portrait of each other before comparing.
Love the camera, love the camera.
Oh, most unusual.
But will my phone continue to impress like it did in our time-lapse test?
So let's review them, shall we?
My cat's photos have a good amount of detail across all images.
But in comparison, even though my Doogee's portrait mode blurs Georgie's background nicely, overall the photos seem to be lacking detail and contrast.
When you do zoom in, the picture
Gosh, yeah,
appears really pixelated.
Yours really does lose definition.
Well, Georgie, I have to agree. The cat is certainly the best snapper with a sharper and more vivid image, although both do come up short compared to the latest flagship handsets.
Cat gets the point for this round.
I think you'd be right.
So, with better photo and video performance, the cat cements its place back in the competition, clawing the score back to 1 apiece. But which will prove to be the toughest overall when it comes to our final challenge later in the show, the ultimate drop test.
Woo!
In part 1, Georgie's Cat 62 Pro lost a point to my Doogee S97 when it came to resisting water and debris.
It seems quite hardy.
But my cat came back fighting and beat Craig's Doogee in the camera and display quality challenge, putting us on an even footing. But now it's on to the decider to find out which is toughest of all.
Oh, look up.
So our phones are going to fall from height in the ultimate drop test.
Our phones are designed to take a beating, so we're going to push them to their limits by dropping them to the ground whilst increasing the height each time. The one to survive the biggest drop wins.
So my cat on paper is drop-proof up to 1.8 metres.
Well, cats always land on their feet. My Doogee is drop-proof up to 2 metres onto concrete. It's got 4 reinforced corners and a heightened screen.
Well, we've got the concrete.
Let's do the drop.
Let's. So should we start off maybe where it'd be if it was just in your hand, because that feels like where people drop it from the most?
That's it. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, drop.
My cat exceeds US military-grade standards, having survived harsh vibration and tumble tests, and can cope with temperatures from -25 to 55 degrees Celsius.
Well, my Doogee has the exact same military toughness and claims to offer 360-degree shock-proof protection. But will either of our phones survive the 1.5-metre drop?
Oh, that was a smack.
Well, no discernible damage there.
No, seemed
Not
to
at all.
bounce quite satisfactory.
It really did.
Now for a 1.8-metre drop, which is my cat's limit on paper.
All right, screen down, 3, 2, 1, drop.
The 5.7-inch display that's heading for the ground is protected by scratch and shatter-resistant Corning Gorilla Glass 6.
While mine has scratch-resistant Corning Gorilla Glass 5, but will it shatter into pieces?
Oh, that sounded a little bit more vicious. Again, no discernible damage.
Screen intact,
Okay.
looking good.
Still going strong, we're going to push them to their limit, way beyond the manufacturer's claims. So we're going to drop them from a height of 5 metres.
Just imagine you're on one of your exotic holidays.
Oh, yes.
You're on your balcony of your hotel room, looking over the swimming pool. You've been in the water, your hands are wet, and the phone falls out your hand. Will it survive?
Okay.
Give it a
Nightmare
go.
scenario.
Nightmare scenario.
Are we going to go face down?
Face down.
I'm up first with my cat. I just hope it's got 9 lives.
3, 2, 1,
And it hits the ground on its bottom edge.
Oh.
Didn't land on the screen, so I'm feeling that's maybe a good thing.
It's time for my Doogee.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, and it takes the hit on the top corner.
Oh, it didn't sound that bad. Let's go and have a look.
Yes.
Careful now, Georgie.
The big reveal.
No!
Oh, no!
Mine is shattered.
It really is.
Oh.
As mine is looking good.
Oh, you won that one. I'm disappointed because I thought the Doogee felt a lot more solid than yours. But with that shattered screen, you've stolen it.
So there we have it. Georgie's cat smashed my Doogee in the ultimate drop, quite literally, taking the point and winning our rugged phone challenge overall. But at almost double the price of my Doogee, has it done enough to be crowned king of the site?
Well done.
Cup of tea?
OK, well, the cat won the last challenge, but I wouldn't say it was a better phone because the Doogee was an awful lot cheaper for a start.
I know. I think the Doogee was better value for money. And I hate to say it, I think maybe it was your bad technique that made you lose that last challenge. It was all about how it landed and, yeah.
I think it hit the camera on the way down as well.
Yeah.